Picks After Dark is sponsored by Snug Books, an independent bookstore serving Northeast Baltimore and beyond. In addition to featuring new books for all ages, the store also carries cards, stationery, gifts, games, and more. Visit snugbooks.com to shop online, learn more about the store, read our latest newsletter, and find a calendar of events, or come browse the store in person. Snug Books is located at 4717 Harford Road, next to Zeke's Coffee in Hamilton, Laurelville. There is free parking behind the store, and open hours are Tuesday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the next episode of No Food Picks After Dark. My name is Chris Franzoni, and you can find me hiding behind the camera at Eat More Be More on TikTok and Instagram. This is the next part in a three-part series where I'm interviewing some of the most interesting people in the Baltimore food scene. And my next guest is someone you've definitely heard of. And if you haven't, you've probably had the Captain Crunch French Toast, the Sweet Baby Jesus, the iconic cinnamon rolls. She's a restaurateur, a creative genius for breakfast and beyond, a Food Network celebrity, a diner, drive-ins, and dives three-peater. Is that right?
Yeah.
And an all-around great person, Sarah Simington, owner of Blue Moon and Blue Moon 2. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
And welcome to my casting couch.
Woo, I love it.
Yeah. So on that note, tell me, what do you know about glory holes?
Everything.
Everything.
Every single thing.
Even for breakfast?
Absolutely.
Especially for breakfast.
Especially for breakfast. Well, my glory hole of love is made with donuts. What you do with it when you go home is all up to you. It's your own business.
Well, tell us more about when it's in the restaurant. What is it? What is
we
this?
Partner with my buddy Roslyn that owns Diablo Donuts.
Great
and
donuts.
We take his glazed donuts. Sometimes we'll do the strawberry glaze depending on when we put it out, if it's a Mother's Day or a Valentine's Day or just, my imagination day.
We're gonna dive into that a little bit more.
If I'm craving
Welcome
it.
to my session.
Yes, exactly. We butter grill it, and then we fill it with cream, and then it has white and dark chocolate chips, crushed macadamia nuts, and we have fresh dipped chocolate strawberries, powdered sugar, a little extra, we call it jizzle.
Yes. Jizzle it just a little bit.
A little bit, or a lot.
Or a lot of it.
Yeah.
Depending on
Never
what
enough
we're
jizzle.
No.
Just for the jizzle of it.
So, yes. So how...
Welcome.
Welcome, right. So this is your 25th year?
Actually, this will be our 27th
27?
year. Yeah, we opened in 1996.
Wow.
August 10th, 1996.
And how did that all start?
So what had happened was we lived in Missouri where we had a restaurant there. My mother met a lady who owned a gas station in front of our restaurant. They became best friends, went separate ways. We moved to California. She moved back to Baltimore where she was from. They kept in touch. She was going through a divorce, called my mom, said, hey, come help me. So my mom did. She left California. I stayed. She was here for a few months and then I guess they went to Fells Point. They're like, oh my God, Sarah's going to love this place, which I did a little too much. And they called me. They're like, we want to do this restaurant thing again. What are you doing? I was working at coffee houses, booking bands. It was the ultimate grunge era in Southern California. And I sold everything I owned, moved out here, and we opened the Blue Moon 3 months later.
Wow.
Yeah, we found the perfect little location, and we did all the build out ourselves. There was like a fluorescent Roger Rabbit mural on the wall when we got there. I don't know if you've been there now, but it's
the
a
same
lot different.
Is the original, the Fells Point location, that's the 27 years ago?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's been a trip. We repointed all the brick. I painted the moon mural, which is no longer there. We just did some reconstruction. And I was like, okay, 27 years later, we can grow up a little bit.
Right. And that
now it's a bat mural.
Now it's a bat, yes. No, it's great. And it's only 950 square feet.
Yeah.
Is that true? Serving
space. There's an upstairs as well, but it's not code to open the stairwell. The building is from the late 1800s. There's no way we could let people go up there. They'd have to sign a waiver. But I lived up there for many years. Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges in operating a restaurant in 950 square feet? And also right now operating a restaurant in Baltimore. We're going through a little bit
that's
of
a big,
You pick one.
950 square feet. Well, when we did this, I was 21 years old.
Yeah.
And to me, it was fun. It was, and we had no idea what it was going to become. When we opened, we were open from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. We were breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Coffee house, we had the espresso machine. I really wanted that vibe and that feel going forward. And then, we didn't know, so it was small. And then we got our first write-up, which was Elizabeth Large, and she wrote us up for breakfast. And that was within like a few weeks of us opening.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, that was it. Baltimore said, no, you do breakfast the right way. This is what we've been looking for. So thank you. And we became breakfast. We still did lunch, but we stopped the dinner, but we kept it open. And then we eventually, we were so busy, we started, shorter and shorter hours because it was just my mother and I. And we had to sleep sometime.
Right. But at one point you were 24 hours in
Yes,
Fells, right?
Yeah. We actually after I guess it was before.
I've been there some of those nights.
Right. I miss it. I wish we could do it. That the not being 24 hours can go into the next part about being a business in Baltimore right now.
Right.
Yeah, we actually opened the 24 hours because we were prepping for the next day anyways. It was like, if we're going to be here and we're chopping and dicing, because everything at Blue Moon, there's no frozen. Everything is fresh diced, fresh brought. We get orders in every day. We have one tiny freezer that's for frozen fruit. Like, that's it for the jam. Otherwise, everything is fresh. And it was like, well, if we're going to be here, let's open it. The next thing you know, we're really busy for that, too. It's like, oh, my God, okay, well, thank you.
I mean, what's better at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. then?
Right. Oh, yeah, nothing's better.
Food.
Everybody wants to soak it up. And my favorite part of the 24-hour service was, providing respite for the rest of the industry. Right. When the bartenders would close, it was just normal time to them. They kept such different hours, so they'd come in, have some food. It was just such a good time. We got to know everybody, bouncers, bartenders, the bands that were in town, because at that point Fletcher's was open. It was just such a Fells Point in the late 90s was such a cool dichotomy. I miss it so much.
So you have to have stories.
Oh, man. Well,
you probably have stories on everyone.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
guessing.
yeah.
Because whenever we're out together, you're like, I have a story about him. I hooked up with him. I know something about her. And I'm like,
that comes with it comes with the territory. The restaurant business itself is a small world, and then you put it in, Fells Point, which is a tiny town. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody's dated everybody, or other things, and this and that.
Is there any story that sticks out that you can tell?
Well, I mean, do you want like Blue Moon specific, like some crazy thing, like?
It can be.
Well, one time there was a big blackout, and I walked it because I was living upstairs, and all the electricity went out. I was like, oh my goodness, what just happened? I came downstairs right when the lights came on. My waitress was sitting on one of our patrons' laps, making out with him, and he did moved on and opened perhaps a food truck or something, without naming any names. But, those kinds of things happen at Blue Moon late night style.
Those are just the extra services that you provide to make your customers happy.
Yes. So that was really good. And then, of course, again, living upstairs provided so much of it.
Yeah.
Because if I wasn't working the shift, everything happens at late night. One time we had a little fire. I had to come down, kick everybody out, grab the fire extinguisher, put it out. And meanwhile, I'm in like a little negligee. That's just how it happens. Yes. We did have, I guess one of the more famous stories is on Not the Greatest Nope, It Ended Well. We did have a shooting. At one time, there was it was late night. We had a group of guys sitting at a table. A kid comes in, and he give us all your stuff, and he cocked his gun, and right then this table of men, which just happened to be there from the military, they were Air Force, came in and took him down. The gun went off, and we still have the hole in the wall, and I was right upstairs. So I mean, cool, because everybody was okay, and the customers had the back, and it just became kind of a, well, you don't mess with those people kind of situation. So, that's some of the hardships that come with the, you never know what's going to happen.
Right. And I feel like now, Baltimore obviously does have its issues.
Yeah.
And it's working. I feel like it's working through them.
Yes.
But
I think we're starting to see a light.
A little bit of light. But I think it is, people have concerns about coming downtown, and it's like, how do you kind of need to change that narrative.
Yes.
And I think it's people like you who are trying to shed a positive light, who never lose faith in the city at all.
No. Baltimore's amazing. It's true grit. Like, it may have its issues with crime and stuff like that, but we're all tough as nails, and we all love it. And there's so much history and so much love and so much music, and I mean, it's one of the coolest places on the planet, and I've traveled the planet. Like, there's nothing like Baltimore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. We're here with Sarah Simington from Blue Moon. We'll be right back.
Get a sip of the ride.
Give to United Way. Your gift could be the first spark of something bigger. It can help someone find, interview for, and get hired for a job, and provide follow-up services for success. It can break down educational barriers and give that extra help to a struggling student with in-school support programs. Give today. Spark something bigger.
The NoPixAfterDark podcast is fueled by Zeke's Coffee. Have you tried their coffee yet? I'm telling you, there's something different about it. Maybe it's because they roast their beans in a fluid coffee roaster, which provides the most accurate roasting temperatures and made with love. You will just have to check it out for yourself and try their delicious food while you're at it. Open now for curbside service, online ordering, carry out, and they also do wholesale. Visit Zeke's Coffee at 4719 Hartford Road. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, 8 to 5 p.m. Kitchen closes at 3 p.m. or visit Zeke'sCoffee.com and you too can be fueled by Zeke's.
Welcome back, everyone, to the No Food Picks After Dark. I almost messed it up that time. We're here with Sarah Simington, owner of Blue Moon and Blue Moon 2. Also the creator of the iconic Captain Crunch French toast that if you haven't had, I mean, if you're eating in Baltimore, you've had that French
Everyone's
toast.
had to have
So
it.
I know you have a wild imagination.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that one?
Well, I mean, there's been the PG version and then the real version. Which one do you want?
Obviously, you know the answer to that question.
I was smoking a lot of marijuana. I was really high. And, and I had the munchies and cereal. It was like my favorite food on the planet. Captain Crunch obviously was right up there. I was eating a bowl of Captain Crunch. French toast is my other favorite food. I was listening to Black Sabbath, and it was just like this, the fairies wear boots, brought a lightning bolt, and it was like, go downstairs right now. So I did. And we were closed, and I was just in the kitchen by myself making it, and then I was like, this is unreal. Yeah,
and now how many French toast do you have now?
It's hard. You can't even count because, the menu changes all the time. COVID actually kind of helped that because we had one specific menu and I just do specials. But now we're going back to the real menu. But these last few years, I've been able to just create on a daily level, which is more my style because I wake up and I'm like, oh, that's what we're going to have today. I don't like to plan out a bunch of stuff. That's difficult for me.
I feel like you need like a badass breakfast club. And you just go, if you like, when you go to places and they have beer, that you just check off.
How many French toasts have you had?
And if you have them all, then your picture goes on the wall.
Yes. I think at one point when we were redoing the menu and we were going to put most of them on there, we had I think 30 different variations that we had to cut down, and we had settled on it had to be 11 because that's my favorite number. And I like odd numbers, even though 11, isn't, but I like numerology.
Right.
So, but it changes all the time. And what's going to be, because now the Shut the Fluff Up has really taken off as one of the best sellers in the churro. I like whimsical things that don't make sense.
Yeah. The Pina Colada one, I think.
That's my personal
fave now. My favorite too,
yeah.
and Stan's favorite for sure. Whenever he's there, he's like, "What do I get? The sweet
I
baby
know.
Jesus?
I wanted to call it the Blue Hawaiian, but I don't want to put food coloring in it. I like it natural.
Because people will be like, "There's nothing blue about this."
Right? I should put. Oh my God! I could do a blue. What are those little umbrellas?
You do that, or like an orchid or something like that.
Yeah.
Like a blue orchid.
Ooh, that'd be
there are
pretty
ways
cool.
around it.
I should get an Elvis thing and then do like a little sprinkle. Oh
yeah.
shoot!
See?
Here
there we
goes.
go. The turning. The gears are turning. And a lot of these have landed you on lots of television.
Lots of television, yeah. I like being on TV.
Diners, drive-ins, and dives. It's hard to say really fast.
It is.
Triple D. And you've done it 3 times.
Triple D's. Hey!
Hey!
It's easy for me to remember.
Right. But 3 times? How did you...
Well, the first time it was when they came in and we filmed, the Captain Crunch French Toast. We did the savory meat roll, which a lot of people ask about, but we don't have it all the time. Yeah.
You've never served me that.
Oh, you haven't had that one yet?
No.
I'm going to do it this weekend. That's what's up.
That's how you get me in.
Actually,
we're
going to
do and I'm like...
a pancake chili rellenos this weekend. Ooh. I was like, what if we take it? Sorry, here goes like the ADD.
I love it.
We're going to take like the Anaheim pepper, stuff it with cheese, and then dip it in the pancake batter, and then grill it up in butter. Like, why not? It might be gross, but it might be delicious.
It might be delicious.
Right? Put a poached egg and maybe like some guajillo sauce on top of it. Like,
how much butter do you think you go through a week or a weekend?
Yeah, that's not even. That doesn't. You can't. Nope. No. But so the first time when we filmed originally, and then we did a best of diners, drive-ins, and dives, and they flew me up to Sacramento, which was great. Which is when I met all the people that I ended up traveling with. And then they did a check back in a few years later. So yeah, 3 full times.
And you're still around.
I'm still here. Shit, they can't get rid of me.
Good. And you do a lot of, like you're mentioning Sacramento, you do a lot of traveling. You traveled for Navy Entertainment?
Navy Entertainment, yes. It's a group that was kind of gathered by Guy Fieri. He was going out and doing some of the bases, but he's obviously, Guy Fieri, a little bit too busy. So he kind of handpicked some people that had been on his show, excuse me, to take it over for him and, all that kind of stuff. And then they called me. They're like, hey, why don't you come in? I was a token female at first, and we had a lot of fun, traveled all over the world. I've since branched off from that specific group, and now I work just for Sarah Simington, Blue Moon Cafe, and Navy Entertainment.
Gotcha. But
yeah, I've been everywhere, every base. I've been to Guantanamo Bay 4 times. I've been out on 2 aircraft carriers in the middle of the Persian Gulf where you tail hook land and get catapulted off. I've hit some G's, man.
Wow.
Yeah. I got
awesome.
I have a tattoo on my wrist, which stands for the big E. I got to go on the Enterprise, and I'm a Trekkie. So that was like
That's
a
awesome.
Huge thing. I got to sit in the captain's seat and say, make it so. And then I went to its decommissioning as well in Norfolk. So, it's just been, I'm very, very fortunate. That was kind of has stopped with, everything with the pandemic, but it's just starting to kick back off again. So I look forward to my next Call of Duty.
Yeah, and you have a lot of travels coming up. But I did
do.
just see you posted photos of a blue whale.
Great. Well, yes. Well, we went on a gray. I'm a traveler. To me, that's where I get my inspiration. It's how I continue. Keep my brain straight. So I believe.
Does it ever get there?
That's always a little crooked. But the best people are. We got to be crazy to stay in this field. But it was the gray whale expedition. So where the gray whales actually come right up to your boat and you get to touch them and it was just life-changing. And then we went over to the other side and we got to see the blue whale, and I went snorkeling with sea lions.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I'm an adventurer for sure. I like to do some crazy stuff, like dive with sharks and stuff like that. Yeah.
So out of all these places that you've been, where, if you're going to open a restaurant outside of Baltimore, where would you pick? I think I know the answer, but
there's a few different answers. Yeah. Like you can go with the businesswoman inside of me who's competitive. Is like I think anybody that owns a restaurant, their answer is going to be Manhattan. Like, who doesn't want to conquer New York?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's like you can make it anywhere. My heart is in New England. So the Salem, Provincetown, that area, Boston for sure. And then also I still have family in California. So I'd love to open one like in Venice Beach or somewhere around that area as well.
If you do Provincetown, we can move up there.
That's what I'm saying. That's where I belong. I have family ties in Salem. Like there's literally, you go to the big, when you do the tours and you go to the, I was going to say graveyard, but it is a graveyard.
Right.
But it's also the memorial for Richard Moore, who came over on the Mayflower. That is my direct descendant. Yeah, and I was named after Sarah Noyes, who was tried in the witch trials. And
so would you consider yourself a witch?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
What powers come with that? Other than
Looney Tunes.
Yes. Crazy.
Well, the emotional aspect being an empath, which can
Right.
be very difficult, which makes me hypersensitive. You know, I can feel other people's emotions and pick up on things. And then just knowing things. And I think the creativity and the artist side and just, you know, being more in tune with the planet and just people in general. Excuse me, allergies, man.
Yeah, they're rough right now. Yeah, I could definitely see you in Salem or
Yeah.
Provincetown up there.
Yeah.
It'd be great. But I really think, I mean, you could be successful anywhere. You just serve up that breakfast. You'd be good.
Well, I mean, franchise.
put it out there
Yeah.
and make it happen.
What I'd really like would be to be in every single airport on the planet.
I mean, that would be.
You know, because traveling is so big for me, and there's the food in, you know, airports is usually kind of,
Right.
you know, put blue moons there, especially
It
with the
wouldn't be-
breakfast
right.
and, yeah, a little Bloody Mary, some bacon and eggs,
Perfect.
a little Captain Crunch French toast.
Back open 24 hours.
Yeah, Whew, I miss it.
Yeah. So back to Baltimore. What are some of your favorite spots here?
To
To
eat
eat,
here? That's, you know, because I'm actually meeting my friend Teresa after this to go, and we're trying to figure out where we wanted to go.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a Peter's, tried and true.
Peter's is
They're my
great.
friends.
Yeah.
I've known them forever. And it's funky and fun and, you
Always
know.
a different menu. Not
Yeah,
like handwritten. I love going in there and seeing the handwritten menu.
And I like that they're kind of assholes and, you know, they bring punk rock into food, which I think is necessary.
Yeah.
You know, this whole the customer's always right thing isn't exactly my jive
Not
either. You know, like it's really hard to be in a hospitality right now. That whole thing
Right.
has changed. But, you know, I've known Bud and Karen for a million years. So, you know, their chocolate pot de creme. Oy.
Yeah.
Maybe that is
I've never
where I
had a
need
bad.
to
You're like,
Right?
no, you're doing it.
We're-
That's where you're having dinner tonight.
go. Tame Street Oyster House is always
My favorite.
fabulous.
Yeah, we were
I
talking about
love
that.
Puerto 511 or
Yeah.
what? Yeah, 511,
Yeah, yeah.
511.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Actually, like my favorite lately is Tagliata.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like their happy hour.
They have
I'm
a
so
great
happy.
happy hour.
Yeah, they're just a glass of wine and their bread and butter and the Parmigiano Reggiano. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's delicious.
Also, new happy hour right behind it at Monarch.
Oh, you
They
know what? I
launched a
haven't been there in
happy
so
hour.
long. I
Yeah,
need
like
to
it's
go back.
a really good happy hour. A lot of stuff on the menu. Definitely check that out. You could do both.
Yeah.
You could
What I
tag
really
for
want.
an hour and then Monarch for
That's
another.
what's
Yes.
I really want some really good Thai food. Like, where do you recommend?
For Thai food.
Like,
I mean,
where's the best Thai?
In Federal Hill, I always go to Body Thai.
Okay.
BUDHI.
Yeah.
They also have a super cute courtyard in the back,
Oh, nice.
which is nice in this.
Give
in
me
the
some
spring.
green curry. Like,
Yeah.
that's my jam.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, you just go out there and relax, and it's like you're not in the city
Mm-hmm.
anymore.
Yeah.
And it's good.
I used to love Henninger's. I have not been since it became Little Donna's.
Yes, we
so.
were there last night.
Oh, you
It's
were? How
good.
was it?
It's unique. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool little space. I'm glad they kept most of the space the same,
Mm-hmm.
which I liked because I like the intimacy of Henninger's and how it's like an old school restaurant in the row house.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's super friendly. They're doing they have like interesting stuff on the menu. Like they do pierogies, like the sauerkraut and the sausage. I had like a chili chicken last night with sausage, but they also have like pizzas. It's super eclectic.
Yeah, that's
menu.
kind of a.
It's like you look at the menu, you're like, I have no idea what this is.
Yeah.
Like it's just all over the place. But good and fun. And they have the outdoor tables there, which is
And the
pretty cool.
ceviche at Clavel is, you can't beat
Yeah.
that.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna be really. I'm getting really hungry now.
I know.
Three,
Like,
three,
what do
three of
I
these,
want?
and I haven't right.
Usually, so I've been like on a diet, you know, because I'm traveling and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. But usually what I want the most is Blue Moon. It's what I crave.
Yeah. What do you think is important now? Because it's increasingly difficult in the hospitality industry. You were talking about how it changed.
Yeah.
What's important for customers to know when they're coming into restaurants?
Kindness. I
Yeah.
mean, it just all boils down to patience and kindness, and realize that, you know, I don't know. It's so, for them to know how to behave and have some manners. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's kind of gone out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like you were saying before, the customer's always right is not the case.
You want good service, be a good customer.
right.
That's simple.
And just common decency.
Yeah.
I feel like, when you come when you're going to a restaurant and the server comes over, don't just bark your order at
No,
it.
we
have a
won't take your order
conversation.
if you're on your phone.
Right.
Put your phone down. Be
Right.
present. We won't bring you out at the register either. Nope. You'll be here with me.
Right.
And then go do whatever you want to do. But when you're in my space, let's do my stuff.
Yeah, and just be nice.
Yeah, just be nice.
It gets you really far.
Yeah.
And it's also the right way to
Because
be.
I love hospitality.
Yeah.
I want to make you smile and make your day and make you go tell a story. And I want you to talk about it for days and weeks and crave and want to come back. I mean, hospitality used to be about creating the regular customer. And you create your own, your business, right? In that with the people that keep going, and you create family and you get to know each other and you have stuff. I've seen that kind of dwindle lately, and that makes me really sad. I mean, I can't tell you how many of my customers, friends, places that we've gone over to dinner at other times. And, it's like you create relationships.
Yeah. And I think, you have a lot of rotating staff. And as you obviously know all this stuff. But I feel
I'm very fortunate that I don't have that yet.
Yeah, you have a super solid staff. But I feel like it's a lot of people during the pandemic who couldn't work in the restaurants went back to their old professions or chose a new profession or did what their passion was because it provided an opportunity. And I feel like now you have people who are in the industry who are younger and who haven't experienced restaurants, so they don't know what it's like going out to a nicer dinner. So it's hard to connect. In addition to them being young, right? I mean, how much can they know? So I think that that's my theory. Of one of the reasons why we're.
Well, you can know to be decent.
True.
And patient.
Sure, that starts at a much younger, much younger age. But we've actually been to, in the past 6 months, we've been to restaurants where the server didn't know how to open a bottle of wine, which is kind of crazy. Literally.
Yeah, well, I guess people aren't. Yeah, they're all.
Or it's coming out of a box or just a screw top or whatever. But when it happened the second and third time, I was like, this is kind of crazy. And one was at a wine.
Yeah. Well, so many people that were in the hospitality field are lifers.
Yeah.
Like they start young because you make good money and you have freedoms and you can be an artist and creativity. Yeah, you can live a whole nother life when you're, people look down upon waiting tables, but are you kidding me? My girls make more money than most of the people I know and manage to travel and take care of kids and do the whole thing, So but I guess that's not happening anymore. Kids don't want to go into the field because I guess it is still just kind of looked down on, and everybody wants to be the chef or get famous, or the chefs don't make the same money.
Right. That's not how it works.
And it's not glamorous.
No. I mean, that's.
I am nothing but scars and burns and it's like, oh, that feels good. You get used to it.
Yeah. We'll wrap it up a little bit. Is there anything that you would like to leave the audience with? Anything ideas?
Well, I would like for them to know that we may not be open for 20 more hours any longer, but we plan on doing pop-up breakfast for dinners. So keep their eye out for that. It'll be on the social media. My social media got hacked. So, I only had 25,000 followers, but that was a lot. They were all organic. They were 100% mine. And when we got hacked, that was kind of a bummer. So, we're trying to build that up. So follow Blue Moon. I don't even know my own thing.
Blue Moon Be More.
Blue Moon Be More.
Right. And you're at French Toast Girl.
And I'm at French Toast Girl. Feel free. You'll get more of my travels on my page, the food and the action on that page.
And a little bit of crazy on both.
Yeah, totally.
And you have locations, Federal Hill,
Hill and Fells Point. 1621 Alisana Street, Fells Point. About to celebrate the 27th year. And then 1024 Light Street, about to celebrate 8 years. Nice.
Well, congratulations on
and
both
maybe,
of those.
2222 Salem Way? No.
Let's do it. I'm there. Thank you.
So if anybody would like to invest, hey.
Slip into our DMs.
Yep.
Slide into our DMs.
Yep. Either way you want to do it, I'll take it.
Either a slip or a slide, whatever. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And go to Blue Moon.
Hey.
Thanks.
Never seen so many riches in my life.